What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Flying Cup. As the Flying Cup, I know it was announced a long time ago, but it's coming tomorrow from 6 p.m. your local time. So the event will differ based on where you live in the world. But once it's 6 p.m., you guys will have a 6-hour event of 100 battles that you guys could potentially do. Now, we don't have confirmation if all leagues will be available tomorrow night, but we know for sure the Flying Cup is going to be a part of it. So today we're going to talk about the best Pokemon that you guys can power up or use for the Flying Cup, and definitely look at some Pokemon that you can utilize as well in Open Great League. Now, as we talk through these Pokemon that I think you guys should look to invest in or look to acquire for this Flying Cup, we're going to have some practice battles playing here on the side of me, starting to get used to the meta, seeing what Pokemon are good, what Pokemon are bad, and everything in between. So let's go ahead and head over to pvpoke.com. So we're over here on PvPoke where you guys can check out the rankings to see what's going to be good, right? So if you guys over on the right, you can filter it between all Pokemon, Halloween Cup, Flying Cup, Kanto Cup, Little Cup, everything you guys need to know. We're in the Flying Cup right here. And right away, there's like this dynamic core because it's only flying type Pokemon. That's what the Flying Cup is. It's a 6-hour, basically mini window tournament of only flying Pokemon. That's all that are eligible. So Pokemon like Mantine, Imoga, Aerodactyl, Zapdos, Skarmory, those ones right there, I think are probably one of the biggest investments that you guys should look to acquire. Out of those ones that are good for Great League as well, that's going to be Pokemon like Mantine, Imoga, Zapdos, Skarmory. So right there, everything besides Aerodactyl. But Aerodactyl in this cup is absolutely nasty. So we're going to dive through each of these Pokemon. First up is going to be Mantine. Mantine, maybe you guys haven't seen it a lot in the Great League, but it's an absolute threat. It has access to a lot of great fast moves, and its charge moves as well are pretty nice. It really draws out fights because it has access to Bubble Beam. So Mantine's going to be beating Pokemon like Skarmory, Aerodactyl, Altaria, Togekiss, and Shadow Aerodactyl. But because it is a water flying typing, it has to watch out for electric type Pokemon, especially Imoga and Zapdos, which I think are going to be the most common. When it comes to its movesets right here, as you guys can see, there's a lot of options, but I would definitely suggest that Bubble, Ice Beam, and Bubble Beam. The Bubble's really going to help out against Aerodactyl because it's going to be doing super effective damage. Bubble Beam helps lower the attack of your opponent, and Ice Beam is going to do really well against a lot of flyers that are, as long as they're not steel. So yeah, Mantine, definitely a great investment if you haven't got one already. And next up we have Imoga, the Pokemon that I don't have. I really wish I got one, but this thing looks like an absolute monster for this Flying Cup. Reason being, it has access to Thundershock, Discharge, Thunderbolt, and Aerial Ace right there. So I would suggest not running double electric because of Gliscor and Glygors, which are going to be the ground type flyers in this cup. So you want to be able to at least hit them for neutral. So maybe you could run Aerial Ace and Thunderbolt, or Aerial Ace and Discharge. I think Thunderbolt has a bit better damage per energy, but you definitely want Thundershock as your fast move. This is quite a hefty power up from what I know. It's going to be very close to level 40 or near level 40, but it's definitely a strong Pokemon in this cup. You can beat things like Skarmory, Mantine, Togekiss, Articuno, Zapdos, and you also lose to Pokemon like Altaria, Aerodactyl, Zapdos, and Gligar. But the thing about Altaria and Aerodactyl, you can hit them really hard for super effective or neutral damage with that Thunderbolt. Same with Gligar, you have the Aerial Ace there for neutral damage. So I think out of the whole meta, Imoga is probably going to be the toughest Pokemon to deal with. Now when it comes to Zapdos here, or actually let's talk about Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is one of those Pokemon where it's going to have its day in the sun right here for this Flying Cup. Outside of that, unless there's some great PvP changes for it, I would not suggest using it in Open Great League. But for this cup right here, I have one myself. I powered up, but I did not unlock a second charge move. Reason being, you only need Rock Throw and Rock Slide. You do not need that Iron Head right there. Because even if you're facing off against something like Togekiss, where the Iron Head would do super effective damage, you already are going to be doing super effective damage with that Rock Slide and Rock Throw as a fast move. So that's what I would definitely suggest. Not double moving, just having Rock Throw, Rock Slide, and you guys are going to be good to go. This thing absolutely destroys the meta. Some of the big things it has to watch out for is going to be water type moves. So maybe a Waterfall from a Gyarados, or Bubble and Bubble Beam from Mantine, and then also Steel Wing from Skarmory, which we're going to talk about soon, but that does super effective damage, and Skarmory only takes neutral that matchup. All right, next up, we're going to have Skarmory here. So Skarmory, you're actually going to want to run it with Steel Wing, and you can have Brave Bird and Sky Attack. This is another one of those Pokemon where I would highly suggest getting for Open Great League, and you guys can change the fast moves because they are not Legacy easily with fast TMs. This is one of those super strong meta-relevant Pokemon in GBL, and it's going to be very strong in this cup, specifically handling that Aerodactyl with ease. On top of that, you can pick up Articuno and Togekiss and Altaria, which is all really, really nice. Again, you want that Steel Wing to do super effective damage against the Fairies and the Rock, and then you're going to be losing hard basically to the Electric, right? And Mantine as well is going to be a close fight, but if you're able to land a Brave Bird, it's definitely going to be better matchup there. Again, with the movesets, Steel Wing, Brave Bird, Sky Attack is what you want to have. It is worth unlocking a second charge move for your Skarmory if you can right now, because the future of GBL, Skarmory is definitely going to be very, very strong. Okay. Next up we have, let's talk about Zapdos. This is probably going to be one of the most controversial picks if you guys are going to go and invest in it, because firstly, it needs the legacy move of Thunder Shock. So the only way to get that right now is from a trade from someone who has it, or utilize an elite fast TM. But overall, I think it's pretty strong. You are going to want to have double moves as well, which means it's going to be a hefty investment. Zapdos overall in the Great League is pretty decent, but I think it's really going to shine in this cup. You can beat things like Skarmory, Mantine, Articuno, Imoga. That right there is basically a huge core. You lose to Pokemon like Altaria and Aerodactyl, but what's great about that is you can hit neutral or super effective back at them with that Thunderbolt. Now, when it comes to movesets, like I said, we're going to want to have that Thunder Shock, and you want to have Thunderbolt and Drill Peck. Drill Peck is going to help you out against those ground flyers like Gligar and Gliscor. On top of that, Thunderbolt just hits the meta extremely hard, right? It's all flying type Pokemon. So Zapdos is definitely a huge, hefty investment in terms of resources, but it may pay off, especially if you don't have an Imoga. Alright, going farther down, we have Pokemon like Mandibus, somewhat recent to Go Battle League. It's definitely super bulky and I think has a lot of play in this cup. You're going to want to have the fast move of Snarl, which is a high energy gaining move, Foul Play, and Shadow Ball right here. You're going to have a lot of close losses, so Pokemon like Aerodactyl and Skarmory are going to be very close, but you have some decent wins against some solid cores, that being Altaria, Zapdos, Mantine, and Articuno, all of which I think are going to be very, very common, and you're extremely bulky, which means you don't have to use shields as often. Take a look at his moveset, it's pretty strong. Snarl, again, I think has better play in this matchup because it has Foul Play and Shadow Ball, and because there's not a lot of other Dark-type Pokemon other than this Mandibus that are going to be relevant. You can hit the whole meta for neutral damage, which is going to be really awesome. All right. Moving on, we have Altaria. Again, huge staple in the Great League. What's fantastic, it is a Dragon Flying, which means it takes neutral from electric type moves. So you can beat Pokemon like Zapdos and Imoga. On top of that, you have access to Dragon Pulse, which is going to be doing a lot of damage to the meta, especially if it doesn't resist it. Sky Attack as well is pretty solid. Overall, I think it's a really solid pick if you guys have not invested in an Altaria here. It's definitely one of those Pokemon you want to have. What's great, as well as it costs 10,000 Stardust to unlock a second charge move, so having Dragon Breath, Sky Attack, and Dragon Pulse is going to do very well in this meta, especially against those electric type Pokemon, as we see right here on screen. Altaria just doing work right there, which is fantastic. Okay. Moving down, we have some more legendaries. Articuno, Ice Shard, Icy Wind. This is going to be quick. It's definitely strong. You don't need legacy moves. You don't need that legacy Hurricane, which is pretty strong. You just need that Ice Shard and Icy Wind, but you have to watch out for Skarmory and Aerodactyl. You're going to get deleted very fast. So, Articuno, pretty strong. And we also have Pokemon like Gyarados, which we saw in the first battle, I believe. Gyarados with Waterfall, Aqua Tail, and Crunch is going to be pretty strong. I ran it with Outrage in these test battles just to see what I could do in terms of damage, and it helped out definitely. But Waterfall Gyarados right here is going to be picking up the Gligar, which you may see, Skarmory, and Aerodactyl. So that right there is a huge core breaker. You just have to keep it away from the Imoga. You have to double super affected by electric type moves. So you got to keep it away from that. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid pick. It is a community day move. You are going to want to have that Aqua Tail. So if you happen to get one, this is the time to use that Gyarados in the Flying Cup. As we go farther down, we're going to see, I think, some other Pokemon that are going to have some play. I think Gligar and Gliscor being a unique ground flying typing, which means they're going to be resisting the electric type moves. And I think Imoga is going to be a huge player in this Flying Cup. I think a lot of people will run it, and if they aren't, they're probably running Zapdos. So Gligar right here, which is great, it's going to be resisting those charge moves. But that is also why when you're on the electric type Pokemon, you want to have that Aerial Ace or the Drill Peck so you can hit neutral back at it. Otherwise, it's going to get absolutely walled. I think it has a great moveset here. Gligar, I think this one is, you want it to be purified, so you want Night Slash and Return. But Night Slash is basically going to be doing neutral damage across the whole meta, except for Pokemon maybe like Togekiss or Mandibus, which is where you want that Return, which just hits like a truck. So yeah, Gligar and Gliscor I think are pretty strong. As we go farther down, these are definitely more spicy picks. Completely usable, I think, in this meta, but I think the whole meta, especially since it's going to be a 6-hour window, and you may not even play for the whole 6 hours or 100 battles, right? You may only do 5 sets, so like 25 battles. You're going to want to stay near the top here. So Pokemon like Mantine, Imoga, Aerodactyl, Zapdos, I think you're going to be very strong. And whatever you do, you cannot have your whole team weak to Aerodactyl. I'm telling you guys right now, if your whole team is destroyed by an Aerodactyl, you guys are going to have a bad time right here. So yeah, I think this team is these Pokemon are definitely going to be a lot of fun to use, has some unique play here. As you guys are going to see in this battle, I decided to try Jumpluff. It's a grass flying type. And it wasn't a good pick, especially since I really didn't have an answer to an Aerodactyl other than Aerodactyl itself. I mean, Gligar is a decent counter in the one shield, but I wanted to see how much damage I would take from the Rock Slide, and it's quite a lot. That's a lot of damage. Definitely should have shielded that right there. But yeah, Jumpluff, not the best of options, if I'm being honest. As you guys are going to see, yeah, Jumpluff, yeah, maybe stay away from that one. But if you're looking for solid investments, right? Pokemon that are going to be great for this cup and great for the future of Great League, I definitely would go with Skarmory, Mantine, Imoga as like a core. I think they're very strong. Imoga has a lot of play in Open Great League as well. It's just not used as often. Or even Zapdos, I think, has a lot of play. But definitely Mantine, Skarmory are super strong. Aerodactyl, like I said earlier, you guys you only need a single move, right? Rock Throw and Rock Slide. Granted, in these battles, I had Iron Head. I just didn't TM it when I did these practice battles, but from these practice battles, obviously, we only need Rock Slide. We do not need Iron Head as well. So you just need the Rock Throw, Rock Slide, and you guys are going to be good to go. That's a lot of dust savings right there, especially since a lot of your Aerodactyls are probably around the 1200, 1300 combat power range, which means you're only going to be spending maybe like 20 to 30k dust, if that, to power it up, and it's going to be good to go. I think it's going to be a solid Pokemon. So yeah, I think this tournament is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be live streaming it on Twitch if you guys want to come hang out there. Yeah, the Jumpluff didn't work out that game. That's okay. So yeah, I think the Flying Cup is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be live streaming it on Twitch tomorrow night. I'm not going to be able to live stream the whole time, right? 6 p.m. to midnight. I can't do that. I got kids and a fam. I can't do that. But I will stream a couple hours of it. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll bring some great Pokemon and test some stuff out. So let me know down in the comments what you guys are excited about for this cup. What Pokemon you guys are going to bring. Is there a spicy Pokemon I did not mention today that you're thinking about bringing and has a lot of play? But like I said, you got to watch out for Aerodactyl, Skarmory, Imoga. I think that's going to be a huge core. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.